He was a little small guy back in the day. The old AIM house up in Seattle. This is Chauncey, one of Leonard's children.
Oh. I'm honored to be here, and I appreciate everybody's support here for Leonard. Like she said earlier, it was always polite to let you know I'm a Turtle Mountain Chippewa. My dad was a Turtle Mountain Chippewa from Turtle Mountain, North Dakota. My mom was a Fort Taunton Sioux from Belcourt, North Dakota. I lived in Oregon my whole life. Worked in construction my whole life. My dad came there in the 60s. I was born in Oregon. Been there pretty much my whole life. I'm 48 years old. I was 38 years old in that Indian camp when this happened. Nobody ever hears a lot of that. I remember Joe Stunts. Nobody ever mentions anything about Joe Stunts. Joe Stunts was he was the only Indian guy there that got shot. Nothing ever became out of Joe Stunts. I just always want to say, as a kid growing up, my dad was always told me to be a firm believer in law and order. He never steered me wrong. His intentions wasn't there wrongfully like the feds and everybody believe. He was there. He wasn't even a Pine Ridge Indian. These people come and asked him to help them. He went there to fight for the people. They were there. You think those Indians knew those guys pulled up were feds? My whole life, people ask me the story. I tell them. It don't matter. I got friends in Oregon. I've lived in Oregon my whole life. I got friends that are cops, everything. It don't matter if you're European or what. Everybody that's ever I told this story to says, yeah, if somebody pulled in my driveway and started shooting, the first thing they would do is shoot back. If you don't know who's shooting at you, what are you going to do? It's called self-defense. Isn't that part of America? Isn't that our right? Part of bearing arms? Isn't your right to defend yourself? Well, that only stands for some people that I've seen, because the Indians, they've been getting robbed a lot for the past 400 years. And it ain't stopping now. Anybody that thinks it stops, fooling themselves. I got people telling me all the time, Chauncey, you're Leonard's son, come help me. I live my life, I do my own thing. They're robbing Indians to this day. Don't believe it ain't happening. If you think it ain't happening, you're fooling yourself. Believe me. To this day, they're still robbing people, Indian people. Someday, there probably won't be no Indian land. What will that be like? Will there be an Indian someday? 100, 200 years from now. Maybe people won't even know what an Indian was, like a dinosaur or something. That's what the Indian people are sticking up for. That's what we need to stick together and fight together. It don't matter if you're a Choctaw, a Sioux, a Cheyenne, or whatever. We need to stick together and fight together. Everybody always asks me to come and help, but I don't ever see anybody sticking together. We need to stick together. And that's what frustrates me. We're all Indians. It don't matter. It don't matter how much Indian you got in you. If there's Indians need help, back them. We all need to stick together. That's why they took this country from us. That's why Indians. You look in Indian jails. Look up back to Dakotas. I've been looking up a lot of this. Look how many Indians are in jail for bullshit reasons. Little bullshit that most people don't even go to jail for. I guess we're back to they're picking on the Indians. Well, you don't have to say that. You just look back into history and look at it. Nobody's got to tell you. Look back in history. That will tell you. You don't need Chauncey Peltier to tell you. You just look for yourself. You can see it. I had so much to say. A lot of these guys already said stuff I was going to say. I get excited. I just don't. It's frustrating. Being a kid all my life and hearing all this stuff about Leonard Peltier, and me in the back of my mind knowing the man's innocent. Imagine what's going through his family's mind. I'm 14 years old. I get arrested for a bullshit charge, and the cop's kicking me in the face, going, "How's your cop killing dad doing?" I'm thinking, man, I've only met the guy a couple times. Right there. It don't matter. I've had DAs and cops try to lock me up forever. I've had judges and lawyers save my life. You know? Where does it stand? Where's it end? How does it feel if you're a judge or a lawyer or a cop and somebody's judging your family for what you are? Just for being a cop or a judge or lawyer? It sucks. I'll tell you, it really sucks. You know, and especially if you know your dad's innocent. You know, I was 8 years old in that Indian camp. I wasn't there with the shootout, but I know. You know, and it's hard. It's really hard. And the only thing I gotta say is about the feds and them, you know, everybody screws up. You know, everybody you're not man enough to turn around and say, hey, we screwed up. You know, we couldn't wrongfully. I was 8 years old there. I never seen Myrtle Poor Bear in my life. I never seen that woman. I was the last one of his kids with him. Myrtle Poor Bear come walking in there. I was 8 years old. I looked, who the hell is that? Well, that's Leonard Peltier's girlfriend. No, I'm 8 years old. No, that ain't. I never seen her a day in my life. It's tough, you know. It's just Leonard, you know. It don't matter if it's Leonard. It don't matter if you're white, you're black, anything. It can happen to any one of you. How many innocent people are in jail? You know, look at it that way. That's the way I look at it. I tell people all the time, what are you so mad about? You can be sitting in the joint for something you didn't even do. You know? They get that one-track mind, they get stuck on you, they want you. You know, Leonard was the fall guy. Leonard's gonna pay. Leonard says, hey, what am I in here for? Aiding and abetting the killer. First he was getting charged for killing 2 FBI agents. Then he's in there for aiding and abetting the killer. Now he puts out a statement, he goes, well, I don't even know why I'm in here. Go in front of them, they barely even got any charges on me. You know? 38 years prison, and they don't even know what they're gonna charge the man with. Come on. It don't matter. It don't matter. You know, what color, what race you are, cop, judge, lawyer, whatever. A bum walking down the street. It can happen to any one of you. I think we all need to sign petitions. More power to you guys. And like I'm saying, it ain't just for Leonard. I ain't just saying this because he's my dad. I'm saying this because it can happen to any one of you. That's why I'm saying it. Freedom, man, the guy, they can't even convict the guy right. I mean, they got bullshit charges on him. People, ballistics, everything. I'm